The world is an incredibly complex place these days, and it's always just beyond your grasp. You always have to keep going.
Welcome to the Buzz Hive, brought to you by the University of Manchester, Dubai, here at Studio 108, where real stories from real people inspire real impact. It is my honor to welcome our guest today, a distinguished political philosopher and a transformative leader with a bold commitment to global impact, social responsibility, and the future of higher education. Please welcome President and Vice-Chancellor of the University of Manchester, Professor Duncan Ivison.
Thanks very much. That's one of the best intros I've ever got, so I'll take that. Yeah.
Very good morning to you, sir.
See you. Great to be in Dubai. Really wonderful to be here.
Actually, Professor, that's what I want to ask you first. How is your impression so far of Dubai? I know you just came.
Yeah, so look, I've been to Dubai before. This is the first time I've come in this role as President and Vice-Chancellor. It's such a dynamic city. There's so much happening here. And it's wonderful to see the work that the center has been doing, our University of Manchester Dubai Center. It's really impressive. Rana and the team are a real force of nature. And I really appreciate, the length of time and commitment that the university has made to this country and to this place. It's fantastic to be here.
Thank you for that. Actually, I've prepared a few questions for you. So the first question I want to ask, Professor Ivison, you've had an inspiring academic and leadership journey. What values or principles have guided you throughout your career in academia and leadership?
So for me, there's probably three principles that have been really important. The first is excellence. I've always been inspired
by the people I've worked with in the various institutions that I've been at, and Manchester is no different. It's one of the reasons why I took the job. Excellence in research, excellence in teaching, that's what great universities have to be committed to, whatever else we do. So I think excellence is really important, and it's always just beyond your grasp. You always have to keep going. I think the second really important principle for me is inclusion. I've always valued inclusive organizations, inclusive cultures, inclusive communities. And for a university, that's very important. And not because it's a nice thing to do, but because we teach more effectively, we do better research, we are better partners, we do better by our students and our staff and the communities we serve when we're inclusive. So for me, it's a hard-edged thing. It's one of the things that makes you excellent, actually. And then I think the third value that's really important to me, both as an academic and as a leader, is trust. Trust is really important. You have to earn it and you have to build it. But, whatever organization, great football team, great, university is characterized by trust, where the staff and students are working in an environment where they can do their best work. They feel supported. And we can also have those challenging conversations and do the really challenging work that I think great universities need to do. So trust for me is another really important value as a leader and as an academic as well.
Thank you very much for that. Now, I want to talk about Manchester has always prided itself on being a global university with a civic heart. How do you see a role in connecting communities and driving global change?
Great question. So you're right. If you look at the history of our university and if you look at the history of our city, the history of Manchester and the city region, it's always been a global place. From the Industrial Revolution onwards, people came to Manchester because extraordinary things were happening in Manchester. And the great science, the great scholarship, the great institutions of Manchester went off into the world and shared their knowledge and discoveries with the rest of the world. There's always been extraordinary interchange between Manchester and the Middle East Manchester and China Manchester and Europe and North America. So that's core to our history. In the next 10 years, I think it's going to be even more important. And, as you might know, we've launched a new decadal strategy. And the tagline for the strategy is from Manchester for the world. And that's a really powerful, I think, framing for everything we want to do. So we want to be one of the great civic universities of the 21st century, just as we were the first modern civic university when we were founded in 1824. But I think over the next decade, it's going to be those universities who are both deeply committed in helping enable their cities to flourish and contributing to their immediate communities, but who then take that credibility and extend it globally. We have to remain open to the world. We have to remain open to the world in everything we do. We need the best students, the best staff, the best partners from wherever they come. And the values that we talked about earlier, you know, the values that characterize the University of Manchester are ones that we want to share and build on in our partnerships with others. And, you know, being in Dubai and seeing how the university has contributed to the ambitions and the strategy of this city and this country just sort of reinforces that for me.
So we're pretty much talking about the Manchester and the new strategy in 2035.
Yeah.
Wow,
yeah.
amazing. Now, another topic that is very, that's one of the reasons why, of course, you're here, Professor Ivison, as we launch this new global campaign, Challenge Accepted, what message would you like to share with our students and alumni worldwide about the role they play in driving this vision forward and how their participation can shape the future we're building together?
So fantastic. So I said we've launched a new strategy, but even what makes it even more extraordinary is we're also launching our first ever fundraising and volunteering campaign in the history of the university. I mean, very few institutions get to do both of those things at the same time. So, you know, I'm really excited about that. And in fact, if you think about our history, again, we were founded through extraordinary support from philanthropists and supporters right from the very beginning. If you walk around our campus and see those famous buildings, you know, Whitworth, Christie, you know, these Rylands, these are the great early supporters of our university. So the campaign is all about telling our story as a university and setting ourselves up for success over the next decade, over the next 100 years. Great 21st century universities also have to be great philanthropic organizations as well. And everyone has a role to play. The tagline for the campaign is Challenge Accepted. And the reason we've chosen that is because, you know, the world is an incredibly complex place these days. I mean, you're experiencing it here in Dubai, aren't you? I mean, there's lots of challenges economically, socially, culturally, politically, and sometimes it can feel a bit overwhelming. We actually want to push with a message of us accepting the challenges that the world gives us. We want to lean into those challenges. And so we're saying, we accept the challenge, challenge accepted. So we want our students and alumni to be challenge acceptors. So use your education for good. Engage with the university and support the mission of the university in the best way you can. And, you know, take your knowledge and your learning out into the world and create impactful change. Help, you know, the societies you're living in and working in here in the Middle East, here in UAE, here in Dubai, flourish and do better. So we want our alumni and students to be challenge acceptors. There's lots of ways you can get involved. We're going to have some fantastic, you know, events here whilst I'm in Dubai. You can be an advocate for the campaign. You can just manifest the qualities and values that you've taken on board in studying or working with us, or indeed you can get involved in helping us meet some of the ambitious targets we have to become a more resilient university over time. So there's lots of ways, and I really want our students and alumni, staff and partners to get involved.
Wow, and we're looking forward for more to come for Challenge Accepted, of course. Speaking of Challenge Accepted, Professor Ivison, I have this. I have this personally for you and for the entire team.
Fantastic.
This is what we call a B Connect card. So there's a different version of it.
Okay.
But we created here in Dubai questions for the 4 teams of B Challenge Accepted.
Oh, wow.
Now, I'm going to put you onto a challenge, though.
Okay.
I'm going to try.
I accept the challenge.
There we go. You're going to pick 1 or 2. Let's do it for the first one.
Okay,
And
let me get my glasses
go
out
ahead.
so I can actually read. I can actually read these. Okay, let's see.
Let's do it for the first challenge.
First
okay.
challenge.
It's about what is the theme there, Professor Ivison?
Turning giving into global change.
There you go.
And the question is, what's one thing you wish everyone understood about giving? I'm a philosopher, so I'm gonna say something really big and abstract here. I think the one thing that everyone should know or understand about giving is it's one of the most powerful things one human being can do for another. And when I talk to the people who have supported our university, either recently or over many years, or who are thinking about it, the feeling that they talk to me about is a feeling of joy and happiness in being able to support something they really care about. So the one thing people I think should understand about giving is it's a beautiful thing to do for another human being. It's a beautiful thing to do for a student or a staff member or for a program or for an initiative that you really support. So I know that sounds a bit philosophical, but that's
No,
that's my thing.
it's like one way of paying it forward to, right?
Absolutely, it's paying it forward. Absolutely.
That was the first challenge.
Okay,
let's go for
next
the second one.
Second one, okay. If you could give your time or skills to one mission, wow, what would it be? Me personally, what a fantastic question. I mean, I think for me, it's helping prospective students who right now don't see themselves at university. That's something I'm really passionate about. You know, as we say, talent is everywhere, but opportunity isn't. So one thing I'm very passionate about is how we enable more students with extraordinary potential, whether they're in Dubai, whether they're in the Middle East, or whether they're in Manchester, whether they're in Oldham or Rochdale or Manchester City. We want more students to join us who don't see themselves with us now. So that's one thing I think that I would really want to. That's one thing we are going to actually lean into and invest in.
Thank you, Professor Ivison, for accepting the challenge.
Yeah, there we go. That's great, actually.
I have this gift for you, though. I want you to take this one personally for
Oh,
you.
fantastic. Thank
You
you
can
so
use
much.
it during networking
Yeah,
events.
fantastic.
And yeah, I hope you loved it.
That's great. What a great. Thanks very much.
All right,
Yeah.
go one more. I want to go to more on a personal level here. We have this what we call in the Buzz Hive quick talk at 10, where I ask you 10 questions very quickly, and you have to answer as quick as you
okay.
can as
Okay,
well.
okay.
More personal level, I would say. Don't worry,
Okay.
it'll get difficult.
Yeah, okay.
All right, let's go. We're ready?
Let's go.
All
Go
right.
for it.
Professor Ivison, are you an early bird or a night owl?
Early bird.
There you go. What's your secret leadership superpower?
Listening.
One thing about Manchester that instantly inspires you.
The music and the culture.
There you go. What's the first thing that comes to mind when you hear Dubai?
Dynamic.
And what's your favorite way to unwind after a long day of work?
Listening to music, going to a concert, spending time with friends. Hopefully all of those things together usually.
It's all together, actually. All right. What's one thing students do that always makes you smile?
I love their passion and enthusiasm for their studies, for their passions about the world, about politics. That really inspires me.
All right. Best advice you receive?
You know more than you think.
Oh, okay. That's very, very nice. If you could fast forward to 2035 for 1 minute, what would you love to see?
I'd love to see the University of Manchester recognized as one of the great civic universities of the 21st century.
A challenge accepted moment in your career you'll never forget.
Accepting the role of President and Vice-Chancellor of the University of Manchester.
It is actually very, very rewarding. And lastly, sir, what is the hope you carry for everyone who will walk through our doors tomorrow?
I want them to have a transformative experience at our university in one way or another. It can be large, it can be small, it can be, anything at all. But I want them to feel their life has been changed for the better in some way by studying with us, working with us, or partnering with us.
Thank you very much once again.
Yeah.
President Vice-Chancellor Professor Duncan Ivison, it's been truly an honor. Thank you very much, sir.
Great. My pleasure. Yeah.
Thank you for joining us at the Buzz Hive here at Studio 108. Today's conversation reminds us that every voice has the power to inspire change, and every story brings us stronger together. My name is Joseph Lanyola, and from all of us here at the University of Manchester, Dubai, remember to always to be that change. Until then, masalama everyone.